Hello everyone, welcome to my Grand Prix recap or review based on what I think of the driver's performance. So I will just tell you guys what happened in the Grand Prix, highlight the major events, which there were not many, and give the drivers a rating or place them in a tier list, basically based on what I feel how they performed as a casual viewer. So the weekend started as normal with practice, but then after the first day, Carlos Sainz had a little issue and he was taken to hospital in the end. He said he had stomach issues, and then the next day we got an announcement saying Ollie Bearman will be driving, who is Ferrari's. Is it Ferrari's or Haas's? Yeah, he drove for Haas last year because every team is supposed to have a rookie driving their car. And we got news that Ollie Bearman would be replacing Carlos Sainz. So then there was qualifying. Max was on pole, Charles was second, Perez third, and our little Ollie Bearman, he started 11th. And another thing, during qualifying, he was very close in knocking Lewis Hamilton out of Q2, my bad. And this guy is pretty good, for just one practice and driving this great race. Remember, he has only been in an F1 car once. Not once, been in this particular car just once. And because I will make a comparison between him and another driver later on, two drivers actually. So on the formation lap of the race, Pierre Gasly came up with some gearbox trouble. He said that his sixth gear did not work, or the car did not get into sixth gear. There was something to do with his sixth gear. I'm not sure, it was engine, gearbox, some issue. And then before the race even started, he was having troubles. He managed to get into the starting grid. At the first lap, we got news saying that Pierre is going to retire the car. He's going to have to retire the car. So he was out of the race. And then everything was fine. It went as normal. And then on the 8th lap, Lance Stroll hit the barrier. He clipped the wall, and then his, was it left or right wheel? I think the steering component snapped because of the impact, and he basically had no steering, and he was just a passenger, and he went and hit the wall. So, it was his fault. He should have known the limits to push, so I'm not going to even blame the car or anything else. So when this happened, the teams had two options. One was to pit the drivers, and Red Bull did a double stack. Double stack is when you bring both your drivers to the same pit because you only have one crew to work on both the cars. And first came Max, and they immediately worked on Max, and then Perez. That was a perfect pit stop. I might even put some footage here if I'm allowed to. And after that, what happened? Few teams, Mercedes, McLaren, Haas, and was Alfa Romeo? Okay, I forgot their team name now. Okay, Stake decided not to pit their drivers. So is it Stake or is it Sauber? Sauber did not pit their drivers. So Lando, Lewis, Hulkenberg, and Zhou did not pit. So Lando was running in P1. Lewis was, I think, P3 or P2. Yeah, he was P3. Max was ahead of him in the pit stop as well, because Lewis started 10th. No, sorry. He started 7th or 8th. He started 8th. I'm sorry, I have a memory of goldfish. And I think the rest of the tale about the race, I can describe it using the tier list. So let's get started. So firstly, I would put Gasly in B tier. So the B tier is, if I put some drivers there, it means they weren't good or bad, but they could not showcase their performance because their cars were a bit limiting. So I really wanted to put certain drivers in here, but okay, let's see. So Pierre Gasly goes there because he had a terrible car, and in the end of the year, I'm gonna give up a score and give the average of where I posted the drivers. So that is why I put him in the B tier right now. And then Alex Albon, he was an okay drive. His drive was kind of messed up by Kevin Magnussen, but let's get on there later. And then Ollie Bearman, because I'm sorry, there's Carlos Sainz's picture here. I'll edit his face in there. And he goes to STM. Man, he went to one practice, qualified, and then after that, lap by lap, you could see him getting faster and faster. faster as he got more confidence in the car. And also I felt bad for him. His neck was hitting. He was resting his neck on the side of the car as well, because these cars pull out crazy G-forces. So he was more physically limited. And I'm sure he did not know how to deploy the battery, because these hybrid cars, you have to charge up your batteries and know when to deploy battery. It gives you an additional 100 something horsepower. Don't quote me on that. So this guy did an amazing drive. Like, he drove, because I've driven on F124. You might see some footages, and I think he did a brilliant job for knowing getting to know a car and adapting to it. This is why these guys are professionals, and I have huge respect for Ollie Behrman, and I feel like he has a huge future ahead of him, and probably a future world champion, that guy is. So Charles Leclerc, I'll put him in A. He did a decent drive. He qualified well, and he extracted the best out of that car. Didn't do anything too stupid. And oh my boy, Daniel Ricciardo. I'm a huge Daniel Ricciardo fan. I know he had a bad pit stop and everything. That's not why the reason I'm putting him here. This is because of the spin. You remember I told you about Ollie Behrman being in one practice session in the car and how he managed to drive that car? Daniel Ricciardo just spun randomly in the end, and I feel like that is something I would do if I'm driving any kind of car, because I'm a noob. And this kind of rookie mistake from a professional driver at a race, I mean, if it's practice and you spin trying to find the limits, it's understandable. But this was a bit weird, and it was a bit sad seeing this. But so I'll put him here just based on his performance. He's going into the bottom of the list. And then comes my other guy, Lance Stroll. He's been in this for 7 years. Remember, Ollie Behrman was here for one practice session, and this guy has been driving Formula 1 for around 7 years. And this is how he performs. It's embarrassing. But I know this could have happened to any other driver, so I'm not going to take the piss on him. But since it's Lance Stroll and he's famous for meeting the wall, I have to put him here. And this was a mistake. This was pretty embarrassing as well. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on to Ocon. Ocon, I'll put him in B tier because his race was ruined by the car. The Alpine is kind of dog poo right now. And then who else? Alonso, I would put him in the A tier because he outdrove that car. That car was, I don't know, looking at Lance's drive and his drive. I mean, is Lance even a benchmark? No. But at least because his teammate is Lance, Alonso keeps looking amazing even if he does like a pretty average drive. So that's why he goes in the top of A tier. I would put him in the A tier. And next is Russell. Russell was, again, I don't know what's with this Mercedes. I genuinely had hope for this car. I legit thought, okay, maybe they got their things under control. They have an average car. They have like a normal car, not a crazy looking side pod car. But again, this car is having the same issues as the previous cars. So I don't know, I'm kind of heartbroken because I've used to be a Mercedes fan. Like, because I started watching F1 during the Hamilton dominance era, and I got inspired by, he's also a person of color and someone who actually started out as a normal person and then got into F1 rather than being a rich kid who got into this. And, that's the only reason I was such a Hamilton fan, and I still am. And because of that, I really love Mercedes, but seeing them fall like this is kind of sad. So I'm not going to be predicting them high anytime this season. And I even regret my championship predictions already. I had a lot of hope. But okay, so Russell was pretty okay actually. I mean, compared to Hamilton, he out-qualified him. And now, Kevin Magnussen. I would have put him S tier if it wasn't for his unsportsmanlike behavior. But because of those little ding-dongs that got him the 10-second penalties, I have to put him here. But amazing job from Kevin. The defense has found a loophole in the rulebook. They weren't doing anything too illegal. Was it ethical? No. Was it unsportsmanlike? Yes. But did they get points in the end? Was it legal? Yeah, absolutely. So great drive from Kevin. Like, holy shit, he backed up the entire grid behind him, and he even didn't get his penalties because he crossed the checkered flag, but the rest of the cars didn't get it. So I don't know. This is pretty cool from him. And then Lando, I think I would put him here. He was also pretty anonymous. I'll put him in B tier. And Hamilton, I want to put him lower, but I saw his defensive drive against Oscar, and how he had his time management. I mean, he still has it. I legit thought, okay, Hamilton is washed out now, he doesn't have it anymore, and maybe he's not as motivated because he's going to Ferrari and he sees that they have a better car. But no, he actually is pretty decent, and usually Hamilton starts on a low, but this is his lowest amount of points after the second race. I think the second lowest was last year where he had like 20 points, and this year he has like 8. Don't quote me for that. I saw a graph, I will put it on somewhere here. So wait, if I put Hamilton here, I think I should put Lando somewhere here. Lando was way better than Hamilton, so Lando goes over there. And Logan Sargent, I would put him in C tier. I mean, he finished 14th ahead of Yuki and everything. It's just, I don't know, he was pretty anonymous and I didn't really see him anywhere in the race. And I'm not sure if he was limited by the machinery, but I felt like he should have cleared the field or stayed next to Alex. I know Alex is an exceptional driver, but I would put him there. Next, Max. I don't think I have to even explain this. He's spectacular. He's amazing. The thing is, you need to put him out of this car and you need to put him in a different car, because right now most people are underestimating his performance. So I mean, Max can remain there in the S tier, best driver, and he didn't make a single mistake. And Nico, this guy is also pretty hard to judge. I mean, he scored points because of Magnussen, and I don't know. It's fine. I would put him up there. He was pretty okay too. And Oscar started F1 last year, and for a second year guy, he drove a pretty disciplined drive, especially against Hamilton. I was like, okay, what if he does something stupid, like tries, because Hamilton was pretty aggressive with his defense, and this guy, he drove clean and he brought it home, scored points. And he even posted something funny on his Twitter as well, saying that he's a Mercedes rear wing expert and he came home with a certain amount of points. So yeah, he did great. And Checo also did a great job, so I would be putting him in here in B. He didn't try to overdrive. He had a decent race, pretty anonymous, but a decent race. And well done. I'm actually really happy with Checo. He seems to have a good start this year. He just has to continue this way, and I think he would just secure his seat in Red Bull. And next is Valtteri and Zhou. I think Valtteri, I would also put him in B tier, like bad car, he didn't do anything wrong. Same with Zhou Guan Yu, I don't have anything bad to say about them. They just didn't have a bad drive. They were just limited by their machinery. So that's why I would just put them there. And Yuki was pretty average. He should have been a bit more aggressive with his attacking and his defenses. He let himself get overtaken by a few other people. It's just, I don't know. I'll put him here. Actually, this is me after edits. And I think I should replace Yuki and put him in C tier, because I just saw that he finished behind Logan, and Yuki deserves a better spot worse spot, because he wasn't good enough. And apart from that, I think this is what I will call my tier list for this day, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. So see you guys early next week, where I would have a preview and recap all the news. There's some more follow-up on the Christian Horner drama and a few more follow-ups on the Ferrari snatching engineers. And there's a lot of spicy content, especially because I think I heard that Red Bull is removing Adrian Newey from the F1 project and putting him into their hypercar project or something. So that'll give Ferrari an opportunity to take him and they'll get a good driver. So don't quote me on that. I will make an updated video about this as well. So see you guys next week then. Have a nice weekend. Bye.